What up, gang of Lane, Carolina jackpot time. Chickadee check, checking in. It is Wednesday morning, a dreary Wednesday morning in the upstate of South Carolina. Hope everybody's doing good today. I'm actually over near Clemson today, but fortunately I'm headed back towards the Greenville area, back towards civilization. Is it any shock that when I'm over here, I see no less than half a dozen billboards talking about fentanyl and the dangers that it provides to the public and that it can kill you? It's not to me. It's a perfect spot to put them in. I mean, you're not going to put it next to a church, but you would definitely plop it out here in the middle of Taterville. That said, this college football offseason has been, to Carolina Jackpot, one of the least enjoyable that I can ever recall. It has been the least enjoyable. And, normally by this time of the year, we're seeing some of the preview magazines hit the shelves. I haven't seen a damn one yet, although they're getting on YouTube and everybody's talking about these anonymous coach comments from the Athlon magazine. I'm supposing they're reading it online, the online edition, because I haven't seen the hard copy for sale anywhere, though I've only looked a few places. Work has really gotten in the way of me getting a lot of content out there, but I try to put out something of some kind of sustenance when I do put out content. I'm telling you though, if I don't ever have to hear the words collective bargaining, revenue sharing, NIL, and then of course there's the ever-ending talk of SEC and Big Ten dominance, playoff reconstruction, playoff expansion, this is the way we're going to seat the playoffs this time. I don't give a fuck about any of this. And I assume the majority of you people, you may give a shit about it in that, going forward in college football, it is important. In college athletics as a whole, it's all important, the way things are going to be shaped. But my God, guys, are we ever going to see an end to this? What is the end game? They have changed something, either in a major or minor way, at some point, sometime, in some way, the last 4 fucking years. I mean, it's just maddening, and I'm so tired of it. I am tired of it, and I'm not going to put content out on that, because you've heard it everywhere else before. Now, if you're somebody like old Sports Talk Jabroni who gets 30,000 views off making a video about collective bargaining and Tennessee getting kicked out of the SEC, by the way, which ain't going to happen, then go for it. I mean, that's you. But me, I can't stand this stuff, because the bottom line is, at the end of August, when toe meets leather, I don't really care that your left tackle is making $500,000 this year and my left tackle is making $800,000. I don't care. I'm just interested in the games that are going on the field, and that's really it. I'm a nuts and bolts type guy. I'm a nuts and bolts YouTuber, and that's the way this channel was built. And it's really put a stench on the kind of stuff that I like to put out. The season's coming, guys. The season is coming. I can't believe that I'm having to hold the charging cord on this device right now, because this road is such in poor condition. They're working on it though. What's up with there's signs out here with these tax signs, pennies for progress. We ain't going to have pennies much longer. Y'all know they're getting rid of those. They're going to stop making them. It's going to be nickels for progress, I assume. I'm so over all of this. The season's coming. it's June almost. I wouldn't believe it by the weather that we're having right now. It says it's 52 degrees. I think it's a little warmer than that because I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt, which is normally how I work. It is shorts and a t-shirt, shorts and a polo shirt. I wear shorts in the wintertime. I just can't do the kind of work I do wearing pants. And I absolutely hate blue jeans. I don't know why. I don't like them anymore. As a youth, I loved my blue jeans. I wore them to school every day. It's probably because that's really all we had back then was either that or wear a pair of dress slacks. I mean, I wasn't going to wear my Sunday school clothes to school, so I wasn't going to wear my Sunday school to regular school. So, but I hate jeans. Anyway, I'm getting off the subject of what I'm talking about here. With the season approaching, nobody is talking about the season. Nobody's talking about, well, this is what's going to happen in my team. And some are in general, but the views on videos that are putting out bullshit content about all of this garbage that's surrounding college football instead of college football is what the traffic is going towards. And what are you people so fascinated by? With it. It's the same damn game that we're seeing. I'm more interested in things like rule changes, transfer portal. Of course, I am interested in that, obviously, because that affects our teams and their play on the field. Who we got on the roster. But aside from that, this other BS, it's going to be what it's going to be. I'm going to find out about it when it happens. And it's kind of like politics. I actually have gotten onto my Twitter and tried to are you gonna stop, old man? We'll rant on that in a second. I've gotten onto my Twitter and filtered out as best I can politics. I don't want to see it on here. And people will always tell me, don't bring politics into YouTube chat, and people don't want to see that. Well, back during election time I did a little bit. I can understand it now. It is absolutely maddening to read, listen to. Here's my thing. If you're not a politician and you're not in politics, you're not in that sphere, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about any of it other than vote. Vote when your election comes up. I get so sick and tired of the rhetoric from one side to the other. Everybody's just fighting each other. Pretty soon, Carolina Jackpot's not even going to be on a side anymore because I'm so done with this. Where was I? See, that's me. When I get off on a tangent and start ranting about something, I'm going to forget what I was talking about. Toe's going to meet leather soon. This season's going to be crazy. I'm really kind of agitated that I know Clemson's going to have a good season. I can't believe Cade Klubnik is like second or third in Heisman Trophy odds, but here we are, and here he sits. Lenora Sellers is like 8th or 9th. And the reason for that is one thing and one thing only. Is it talent? No. Is it ability? No. What is it? It's the schedule. It's who he plays versus who Lenora Sellers plays. And he's going to be able to put up the gaudy numbers that Lenora Sellers is not going to be able to put up. Lenora is going to put up his numbers. He's going to get his yards. He's going to get his touchdowns. He's going to make his plays. And he's going to be making them against quality competition week in and week out. And spare me the talk, ACC homers and you dumb fucks out there. The SEC ain't but about 4 teams. Everybody else in there is the level of Vanderbilt, which is no better than Virginia Tech and Virginia and Boston College and blah, blah. No! That's been proven to be false. It's been proven to be false time and time again in regular season matchups and in bowl game matchups. And I'm not a conference homer, but guys, you can't ignore facts. They are what they are. Oh, we were talking about Cade Klubnik and Clemson. That's where we're at. Them having a good season, him having a good season turns my damn stomach. I don't like him any more than I've liked any other Clemson quarterback in the past. Look at your boy Deshaun Watson over here the other day. I saw him on Twitter or Facebook somewhere. There was a video somewhere of him. They had to put him to sleep to put some kind of ridiculous, wretched tattoo on his back. What? Good Lord! I mean, what happened to this guy? I mean, he was just a twiggy little 19-year-old freshman back in 2014 who fought his way back from an ACL injury against Georgia Tech to beat the Gamecocks on one leg. Everybody thought he was a hero. He's out here. I don't know. He lived in a Habitat for Humanity house when he was young, and then he went out and helped build some Habitat for Humanity houses when he got some money. I mean, you talk about somebody that went off the rails. That guy absolutely went off the damn deep end. I'd like to hear a Deshaun Watson podcast someday. Hear what he's got to say about what the hell happened to you, sir. What got up in your dome to make you go crazy and lose your mind? That's crazy. But I don't like Klubnik any more than I've liked any of these other fuckers. Him and his little face paint he smeared down before the game. You know what? You know what about face paint? Face paint is for pussies. It really is. Wearing face paint, if you're not a badass, does not make you a badass. The last person I knew that wore face paint that was already a legitimate badass before they put on the face paint would have been Road Warrior Hawk. Well, you know it's true. But they're going to have a good season. Makes me sick, but they are. You're talking 10-2, 11-1, I think. They'll probably beat LSU in the opening game. Like I said, that's one of those games where they're just going to come out and we're going to just have Tater on full display, and Brian Kelly, he's a dumb fuck, and he shits bed in the first game every damn year. And he loses to teams like Florida. He lost to USC Trojans last year in the opening game. How did that happen? Jesus. Jeez. I don't know. But the season, which is fast approaching, talking Gamecocks, I don't know, man. I don't know. The over-under odds for them on win totals by FanDuel is 7.5 right now. They're at plus 100 to go over the 7.5 to win 8 games or more in the regular season. Bowl games don't count. When I say plus 100 I need to reference that kind of stuff when I talk, because like not that everybody watches these videos gambles or even knows what that means. A lot of you do, that's fine, but plus 100 means exactly what it is. Plus 100. If you bet $100 on the Gamecocks to win more than 7.5 games, you're going to be plus 100 if they do. You're going to win another $100. So you'll put $200 back into your bank account because you'll get your money back plus $100. If they're minus 110, anything minus means that you're going to win back less than what your wager was if your bet hits. If they're minus 110, you're going to win I think it's $90.91, something like that. And then it goes down from there. If they're minus 150, you win $50. So look, I don't know, that number's fallen just a little bit from what it was, and probably has a little bit to do with, I mean, there's not been a lot of roster movement. I would think the only factor that you're looking at there is people just reading into things and just still being a little bit uncertain about that defense and the deal with Rasul Faison. And I've got a lot of people out there flapping their jaws. Well, you don't know how good he's going to be. He was at Utah State. He's the number 2 transfer portal running back. And it's not like they didn't have a large number of transfer portal running backs to choose from, to give those numbers to. He's going to be good. I mean, they looked at what they saw on film. The guy is going to be good. They need him to be able to play. However, if he doesn't, we've got a running back room that I think is more than formidable. Is it great for the SEC? No, but I think it could work its way up to being above average if all things fall into place, and that offensive line plays well. That's another X factor there. You got a lot of transfers on that offensive line, a lot of guys who have played a lot of football who've transferred in. Are they going to gel? My problem with the offensive line at South Carolina has been, we've recruited at a really high level the past 2 to 3 years. I still have yet to see it totally translate into a good offensive line play on the field. Now, last year, the last 6 games of the season, one could argue that it was better, but one could also argue that Lenora Sellers made a lot of magic happen with his feet that a lot of other quarterbacks would not have allowed to happen, or a lot of quarterbacks would not have made happen, that weren't as athletic and gifted as he is. And we're kind of looking at, a layman's QB might have been taking more sacks. I mean, these guys gave up a ton of sacks anyway the first half of the season. So I think Lenora's play has a lot to do with the perceived good offensive line play as much as the good offensive line play itself did, if I'm making any sense there. That's a big X factor. Point being, I just don't think Lonnie Teasley and his bunch are great coached. I think they're great recruiters. I think they're really good recruiters. I don't think that they're great as far as their on the field development coaching. I just don't. And you can be mad at me if you don't like that. I'm telling you what I see. Because what I see on Saturdays, what I see in the offseason is a program that's recruiting at a really high level on the offensive line. What I see on Saturdays is a piss-poor offensive line. We need to get that fixed quick, fast, and in a hurry. So there's uncertainties there. Now with Rasul, I mean, if they deny his eligibility to play, so quick question to bring you up to speed on that. Rasul Faison, the guy that Gamecocks picked up out of the transfer portal from Utah State. It's kind of up in the air as to whether he's going to be eligible to play in 2025 because he's already attended 4 years, it's either 4 or 5 years of college. However, he hasn't played football all those years. And a couple of that was at a junior college. Shane Beamer and staff sent in all the necessary paperwork and things that they needed to do to get the young man eligible to the NCAA back in January. Okay, we're sitting here knocking on the door of June. We're about to flip the calendar to summer. Shane Beamer still doesn't have the word back from the NCAA yet on whether this guy's going to be eligible. That's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. And I know that, they got a lot of athletes. They got a lot of stuff that they got to take care of, yada, yada, yada. 6 months you've had paperwork on this dude, and you still haven't done anything about it yet. You haven't reacted to it. You haven't communicated with his coaching staff. I can understand why people sue the NCAA every time you turn around. They're worthless. It's a worthless organization that has no sense of urgency, it would appear, on some things. So he's lawyered up. He hasn't sued the NCAA, but he did lawyer up to, I suppose, get this thing moved on. Maybe when the NCAA sees, hey, this guy's got a lawyer, we need to make a decision here and get this taken care of. And for all intents and purposes and everything that I've heard through the grapevine, the tea leaves that I've read, as they say, he's going to be eligible. But there's still a little bit of uncertainty there, right? But I'm looking forward to this season for a lot of reasons. I look forward to every college football season. I want to see Lenore's play this year, which may be his last year as a Gamecock. If he goes out there and there's still things that he needs to work on, if it's maybe that passing game he needs to elevate, maybe doesn't quite get elevated where it needs to, but maybe he does make some strides. Man, I'd like to see him come back for another year, but at the same time, I don't want to see him come back for another year if he's almost ready to go. If that's going to mean that one of these other quarterbacks that we've got decides to hit the road and transfer out because I don't want to sit behind him for another year. It's so many things you got to look at from that perspective. You can't be a selfish fan. You just got to let the chips fall where they may. And just resign yourself to what I was talking about with the politics, what I was talking about with the other bullshit that we're dealing with in the college football offseason right now with the progressive bargaining, well, whatever it is, collective bargaining and the revenue sharing and the yada, 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 and the blah, blah, blah. You can't do anything about it. There's nothing you can do about it unless you're in it. So just relax, try to enjoy the ride, and let's get ready to play some damn football. Because I want these magazines to get here. I want them to hit the shelves because Carolina Jackpot's ready to. I've already ordered a couple of things that I always grab every year. Pick Six previews and, of course, the Phil Steele magazine. Got all that pre-ordered, so I'll get it a little bit earlier than when it hits the newsstand. But that doesn't come out till later. Phil Steele won't come out till right at the end of June. Comes out like 4th of July in like Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble's the only place that you can buy it as far as a store, like a brick and mortar store. Otherwise, you got to order it online, which is kind of cool. He doesn't put his magazine out there and doesn't go in every single store. So it's kind of like a treasure hunt to find it if you don't have a Barnes & Noble, I guess. Makes it kind of cool, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. It makes it real cool. At any rate, Carolina Jackpot's tired. It's, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm already tired. I got a shit ton of stores I got to work today. Small stops, mostly. And anyone would think, well, they're small stops, Jackpot. That's not hard. Well, it's a bunch of up, it's down, it's in and out. It's in the truck, it's out of the truck. And here's the thing about them, too. Every one of them, you have to get checked in. So, at some stores, they'll get you checked in just like that. Some stores, you have to stand there and wait. And that's time just ticking. So it still is a pain in the butt. But, hey, it's all good. It's money. We're out here putting out these delicious Utz and Golden Flake products for... God almighty. Damn. Is it actually legal to have a canyon running through the middle of your damn parking lot? Jesus. All right. Well, that's about enough of that. I'm here at Quick Trip, and I got to get in here and get this thing laying worked. I'll see you guys later on. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good day. Hope you're able to find something that interests you today. Hope you have a good day at work, for most of you, because most of you, I assume, are working. If you're not, here's another thing I hate. I can't stand this. Can't stand it. Well, this isn't too bad. If you ever pull behind a Quick Trip, there's always going to be an ambulance back there hanging out, or which I know they got to hang out somewhere. Jackpot, they got to hang out somewhere. They're supposed to hang out at the fire department. There's always going to be an ambulance sitting back there, or in our case, in this area, especially in this time of year, there's always going to be a fucking landscaping truck back there, or 2 or 3, that just take up the whole damn kit and caboodle back here, and you got to navigate your way around to park somewhere. But anyway, I'll get off that soapbox. I'll talk to you guys later on. I appreciate it. Peace, and I'm out of here. Go Gamecocks. Woo!